Welcome back to the channel, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. Okay, don't forget before we begin, that QR code right there, you hit that QR code, take you to my eBay page, my Instagram page, my YouTube page, all the social media you'll ever need. Alrighty, let's see who we have today. Ooh, this is a good one here. Daredevil, Born Again. Number 230 was 75 cents back in 1988. This is by Frank Miller and Joe Rosen. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to everything, okay? Now, before we begin, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Also, if you don't mind, please hit that like button down below and that subscribe button down below. Helps me out, helps out the channel, keeps us going, all right? And leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about this book. If you want to hear more, if I have it in my library, let me know about it, and I'll see if I can get it on. Let's get to it. No heartbeat. He is gone. No, he can't die. I had an awful dream. Everybody hated me. Everybody took everything away from me. No. The Kingpin. He's the only one. The kingpin of crime. He found out my nasty identity, and it wasn't a dream. Then Santa Claus stabbed me with a knife, and no, it was Turk. Small-time hood. He was just dressed like Santa. Small-time hood works for the Kingpin. Not a dream. He's alive. Born again. Praise God, he's alive. The breezes are cool. She's in America, Karen Page allows herself to hope. Not too often she whispers the name, quietly facing away from the company, the companion, the name that means hope. Matt. Matt, she betrayed him, sold his deepest secret for a fix. Told the man that Matt is a daredevil, and the man told other men, and the other men are trying to kill Karen Page. But she'll make it to New York. She'll find Matt before the killers find her. Matt will save her. He has to. Too often, he thinks the name Murdoch. He is the Kingpin. He is the Lord of Crime. He destroyed Matt Murdoch, robbed him of his career, his home, of everything that constituted his life. But Murdoch is alive. Somewhere, Murdoch is alive. Accepted and agreed to on this second day. Franklin Nelson took the job. Knew he would. Funny, my hand shook when I signed. I guess it was a salary. Honestly, Glory, didn't I believe they'd pay me so much until I saw it written down? Sure, and you deserve it, Foggy. It's twice what Matt and me ever made together. Matt has long been missing now, 11 days and 6 hours. I don't even think of his name. He doesn't exist. They convinced me of that. I went looking for him, talked to a crooked cop and helped frame him. A nurse the size of your average truck on him, broke most of the bones in his cop's body. Me, she went light on, settled for breaking my fingers. My name is Ben Urich. I'm a reporter. I don't even think of his name. When I was a whole lot younger, I was struck across the eyes and blinded by a piece of radioactive garbage. Don't ask me to explain why, but I can smell and hear and taste better than anybody. That's all there is to learn about Matt Murdoch. Everything else in my life is gone except the lesson I learned from my father. Never give up. Never. Penn Station. For most people, New York is the Empire State Building, and the Statue of Liberty. For Karen Page, it's Penn Station, where she first stepped off the train from New England. That must be why she asked Paulo to drop her off here. She paid her way exactly the way she wanted her to. She owes him nothing. She wants to get rid of him. Sure, he's got the junk as much as she wants, but there's only one man she wants to be with now. She'll even quit the junk. She swears she will. So she says goodbye to Paulo with a kiss as final payment. It's the long kind of kiss, The kind she learned making movies for people like Polo. She's a pro about it. It isn't enough for him, though. Locate Nuke Wisley. Nuke, boss, are you not serious? Please, to tell me you are not serious. Nobody's ever used him on a domestic job. I did not invite the bait. No, you don't know, Ben. You just don't. Look at you. They broke your fingers, honey. They'll kill you. Do you know that? They'll kill you and you'll die for... Don't say the name. Don't even think of the name. It's so very important that we don't even think of the name. They've done some work on me. The broken rib is back where it belongs. I'm not bleeding. I'm one big bruise, but not to pay attention to how I feel. The more I focus outside myself, that stench, even his sweat smells like cheap wine. I can taste his hangover with him. Can't stand it. Move further out. Sounds are muffled by the snow. The gulls, they only sound like that in the morning, complaining. Honk, 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 honk. Like the whole city's complaining. I'm still in Manhattan. Narrow it down. Even past Brother Gallo next to me, I can smell the neighborhood. Rats and concrete dust. Hell's Kitchen. I grew up here. But what kind of place am I in? Bang, 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 bang. Whoa, whoa, bang. Church bells. I'm in a church. Must be in the basement. A mission. Just me and the winos. Got to get away from these smells. Okay, who took the muscles out of my legs? And he fell on the floor. You idiot. My name is Maggie. You're staying here. Hello? I'm calling for Fogg, for Franklin Nelson. Mrs. Nelson? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just I had an idea he'd gotten married. You see, I used to be his secretary, Mrs. Nelson. His and Matt Murdoch's. Could I please speak to Foggy? He doesn't live there. But you said separated. Oh, I'm sorry. I need, do you have a number where I could reach him? Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And she's crying. Karen Page. Golly, you're the last person I expected to hear from. How's it going? Matt? Well, Matt's come on hard times, Karen. It's a long story. No, I'm sorry. I don't know where he is. Love to see you, Karen. How long are you in town? You mean right now? Gee, Karen, I'm kind of tied up. Well, sure. If it's important, where? Boy, that's a rough part of town. Are you sure? Sure, Karen. For old times like you say, old times, geez, it wasn't so long ago. The Daily Bugle. Hey, isn't that where Spider-Man works? I've seen this plenty of times, Ben. It never fails to make me sick. Reporter gets his blood up for a story, threatens to quit if I don't let him go for it, then suddenly loses all interest. By the way, how's the hand? Listen, Yurik, there are things you just don't let happen in this racket. Number one is you never get scared away from a story. Not while you've got the most powerful weapon in the world on your side. This is a 5 million readers worth of power. It can depose mayors and destroy presidents. And it's been due to get aimed at the kingpin for years now, but it needs you to do it. You're lucky I don't fire you. Get out of my office. That's a good boy, Yurik. You stay. A good boy. A good remember the kingpin's watching. You remember you got 5 fingers. She's within me when the fever hits. I'm boiling alive, but for the cool, soft cloth hanging from her neck. It's a cross made of gold. Running out on me. Just seeing a friend. You go see your friend, but you come back or I'll find you, Karen Page. You're mine now. No, Morton, I will not show this garbage to Jameson. You will go out and take some pictures we can use. But Too mild, he says. Punch it up, he says. Just a puff piece. Simple, stupid puff piece. And you take 3 hours on the first paragraph? What's the problem, Ben? Just a minute. The deadline for the morning edition is always a good time at the New York Daily Bugle. I get a phone call. I'll tell you the problem. An ex-president does carpentry work at a welfare project and says all the usual stuff, not your major literary challenge. But Uric here can't get it written. Who put out a top crime reporter on a piece like that? Could you speak up? I can't hear. Copy, boy. It's Lieutenant Manolis, Mr. Uric. I've been able to talk for a couple of days now, but I haven't called. I'm ready to give you my story. Oh, he's in a hospital. Mr. Uric is off to the crime beat. Mr. Uric was kind of enough to tell us this. Mr. Uric requested a puff piece. I gave Mr. Uric a puff piece. Mr. Uric has taken 3 hours on the first. I think you'd better get off the phone, Ben. I'm sorry, Lieutenant, I'm busy. Where's that copy, boy? I don't think you need me, Mr. Uric. I want to tell you how I helped the Kingpin frame Matt Murdock. So now he's deaf, aces? We're 3 minutes from a 6-inch blank space on page 5, and Mr. Uric goes deaf. Jameson's going to fry me. Settle down, Lichtenstein. You had better get off the phone, Ben. I don't know anybody by that name, Lieutenant. Copy, boy. Die or what? Oh, I get it. Oh, no. Uric's been useless. Lately, do you know that his last piece wouldn't have made the Enquirer? Finch had to rewrite it from scratch, but at least there were words on the paper. Get off the phone, Ben. Lieutenant, you're dead, copy boy. My employer would like you to hear this, Mr. Uric. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I am dead. I am cold. I am buried. Out of here, Morton. We got a newspaper to put out. $100. I can make it by rent. Finch? Where's Finch? Oh, no. Dead, dead, dead. Go home, Morton. $50 Monday. You'll have shots you'll want to frame. Finch, I need this in 2 minutes. Hostage stories breaking wide open, Robbie. Got quotes from the terrorists. They'll set Page on fire. We'll scope the post. Give it a Jansen release, please. Watch where you're going, Morton. You watch. I really appreciate this, Finch. Remember, 2 minutes. I want you in my office, Ben. Now. Jansen. I thank you for listening, Mr. Uric. When I first got my powers, I lived through a night of utter agony. My senses were wild. Everything hurt me. Every sound and smell. A woman came to me with words of hope. She never told me who she was. She wore a gold cross. I touched it. My fingers never forgot it. It's this cross. This cross. Who could love me so much and stay away so long? Who are you, Maggie? Still the fever climbs, sister. It will break. It will. You look good, Karen. How are things? I mean, Nuke is in Nicaragua. It has taken days to find this out, days of reaching further and further out to the branches of the organization, the legitimate corporations, the military offices feeding the vices of respectable businessmen, even a general. A general in my pocket. The thought dances briefly through the Kingpin's mind. That is a branch to be nurtured. It will take days more to enlist Nuke. The man's willfulness must be overcome, as must his self-deception of patriotism. These days must not be wasted. Murdoch must be drawn out of the hiding, perhaps a threat to his loved ones. Too obvious. But to take the small shred of himself that he still owns, to flail him with it. He snaps his fingers. The crime lord summons a man who specializes in psychotics and always offers an excellent selection. I swear it took forever. I've spoken with the doctor, Ben. He says that bandage was supposed to come off yesterday. I want you to take a few days off. This is the number of psychiatrists forever. No, I mean it. You look great, Karen. Nick gurgled like a clogged drain. Somewhere in the middle of it, he caught a single raspy breath. No smoking in the elevator, man. One breath and it was very desperate. Temperature must be around 103 now. That's what you get for swimming in the East River, sleeping in the street. Pneumonia, stupid way to die. Karen, what happened? I thought you'd never ask, Foggy. And finally, the rattle. It took forever, too. I suppose you know about... No, you wouldn't have seen my movies. Let's just say that I've messed up my life about as badly as I could. I'm a junkie, and I've got to find Matt, or I'll be murdered. Huh? What happened to your mouth, Karen? That's Paulo, the man I'm with. He's pretty awful. Like to get my hands on that rat. Just don't, Foggy. I just need to know where Matt is. I can't tell you why, but he's the only man who can save me. Matt's disappeared, Karen. A lot has happened. Our law firm went out of business. Matt's been acting crazy for some time now. Then he was charged with a criminal misconduct. Not Matt, no. It was a frame by gangsters. I think we did our best to fight it, but we lost Matt and was disbarred from practicing law. Then his house blew up, and Matt vanished. Oh, no. Oh, Foggy. It's all my fault. Tell me what you mean by that, Karen. Nothing. Just talking like a junkie doesn't mean anything. Look, I better go. Back to the guy who punched you? You're coming home with me, Karen. No, Foggy. You're sweet, but no. Paulo, he'll kill you. He'll kill both of us. I don't take no for an answer, Karen. You and me were family. Matt's family. And she's crying. And they're hugging in the street. Okay. The fever grows in him. No earthly force can stop it. He has lost too much blood. His body cannot fight. He will die. But he has so very much to do, my lord. His soul is troubled, but it is a good man's soul, my lord. He needs only to be shown your way. Then he will rise as you own and will bring light to his poisoned city. He will be as a spear of lightning in your hand, my lord. If I am to be punished for past sins, so be it. If I am to be cast into hell, so be it. But spare him. So many need him. Hear my plea. I thank you for listening, Mr. Urich. Don't even think He's out in the snow. The cast comes off. Matt Murdock. Costumes. Downtown. I don't like it. I know who you work for, Felix. And the Kingpin is never up to anything good. What is there not to like, Potter? You construct costumes. I am herewith commissioning from yourself a costume. Said costume being one you are infinitely familiar with during such time frame as before you did reunicite your status as a prominent member of the criminal class to open this shop within which we now converse. Speaking of the most neatly custodied establishment, we will summarily execute its premature demolition, not to mention the removal of your most valued body parts. Should you perchance fail to render unto us a perfect duplicate of the uniform of the certain man without fear, a heartbeat can tell you a lot. Mine, for instance, has slowed down considerably in the past few hours. Ever since the fever broke, it's just a pleasure just to sit and listen to it. God has been merciful to that boy. God is just a sister. Maggie's heart is just to my right. It's great shape. She's got a lot of years left. And the tension has gone out of the sweat. She carries the same scent she brought to my hospital room years ago. Are you hungry? Not yet, but I will be. Thanks to you. It's a pleasant scent, so much like my own. Give your thanks to the Lord, Maggie. Are you my mother? Of course not, child. A heartbeat can tell you a lot. Hers just jumped. She's lying. Next book is Not Saved. Okay, well that was Daredevil, number 230. 75 cents back in 1988. Hope you enjoyed that little reading. Don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down there, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about it, okay? And don't forget, that QR code take you to all my social media pages. All right, as Papa and Matt Murdock and Maggie and Kingpin always say... That
was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.